Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we've got a very long video. I don't know how I managed this. Normally I'm quite good with chopping up my video, making it as short but sweet as possible, but today's video we've got 18 minutes to get through, so grab something to drink. It might be a long one but hopefully worth it because I love how the nail design ended up coming out. So quickly I'm showing you guys the gel polishes I'll be using. We're using lovely Mickey from Semilac. We've got this gorgeous kind of princessy Barbie pinky color, and we're also going to use my favorite nude from Cloud Beauty in the shade N17, sorry. And we're also going to use some Cloud Beauty base coat to start off our nail design. As usual with nail designs like this, when you're doing press-ons, you want to try and prep your nails just like you would have if you were to do your nails for a customer, or I guess a client more than a customer. So what I like to do personally is buff the nail bed. As you can see, that's why it's kind of cloudy, and then I also like to go in with a nail cleaner over it. So that kind of works as my way of dehydrating the nail, even though it kind of doesn't need it, but it just, I don't know, it makes me feel a bit more sane to know that maybe the gel polish will stay on longer. Some people skip that step. Some people prefer to use some primers on top of the press-on nails. It's all kind of your own preference. I reckon it's kind of give it a try and see what works best for you. Majority of the time, if you are doing press-ons, I would like to hope that you've already kind of worn them, know how they work, what works best, what kind of stays on the best as well. So I do like to also test mine out. So I've just found that one's the easiest for me to do, and the gel polish always stays on for me. So it's perfect, essentially, for me anyways. And if you're wondering, the nail cleaner I use is from Miley, and I've had it for quite some time. I don't use a lot, I just use a little bit, so a little bit goes a long way and they last a long time. So I definitely recommend highly. So now that the set is out the lamp, it's time to apply our base colors. So I've got two nails that are the vibrant neonish kind of pinky from Semilac, and it's the thumb and the ring finger. And then the other two that are left now are going to be the nude. And then as you can see, the pinky, I decided to use this sparkly color from Vanillisa, and I'm kind of using it as background. As you can see, it's very sheer, it's not really giving a lot of color, it's mainly doing a bit of sparkle on that nail, and that's fine because that whole nail will be covered with AB crystals. So I kind of just wanted that little sparkle underneath in case there's any gaps that might happen or anything like that. So I just wanted some kind of background. If you do have a more concentrated glittery gel polish, that would probably work the best. But for me, that's all I could find at the time of recording, so that's all I had to use. That gel polish is very beautiful and it has a very rainbowy kind of reflection to it, but I reckon it's kind of more of a gel polish you maybe want to put on top of already like a colored base. So that might be a gel polish you might want to put on top of the pink or the nude, but in my case I'm popping onto the clear pinky so we can later on bling the whole nail out. So now I'm applying our second layer of all the gel polishes, and we won't be curing just yet. So I decided to kind of wing it. I don't think I've seen it anywhere. I think I just kind of decided to just wing it and hope for the best. So before curing, I decided to go in on the pink nails and just swipe through some of that Macart gel polish. So and then we've kind of created those little lines, and then later on when we matte top coat, do some stamping. It actually looks kind of cool behind the stamping, so I'm quite glad I did it. You can do different methods of what I will show you guys in just a moment. You can also actually like proper marble the nails if you'd like. So you can just swirl the two colors on a plate and just kind of float on top of the nail to create a marble if you wanted it to be like a proper marbly look. Or you could maybe use some blooming gel as well and place it on there. It's all kind of your preference. But yeah, so that's kind of what I decided to do. So in just a moment, when I fix up that nail, when I place that sparkly gel polish there by accident, and I fix it up, it'll be time to do that. I don't really want to call it marble because I don't think it looks like marble. Almost like stripy, light and dark pink kind of thing going on. So I'm using this little bag. I can't still find my plate, so I have to use this little bag. So I'm placing some of that Macart gel polish on my little bag, I guess, and then using a nail art brush, I'm going to dip into there and just kind of do strokes throughout the nails. So because it's not cured, it's going to really nicely kind of blend in there. You do have to be slightly wary of there being too much. So I did find that with the thumb, I wasn't being too careful. I was kind of scraping up a lot of that Macart lighter pink, and it did become slightly bulky, just very little. Later on though, after doing my matte top coat and then some stamping and stuff, you can't actually tell, which is really nice. But at the time of doing this bit right now, it did feel quite chunky and it was kind of bothering me. I did off camera go ahead and try to wipe a bit on the sides, but it wasn't the best idea, because when I did that, the side kind of went missing, so I had to just quickly put it back in there. So don't do what I did. Just kind of hope for the best when you put it in the lamp that it cures and it doesn't look bulky later. So as you can see, it's just random lines going from either side. It's just diagonal lines going all the way through. And then once I'm happy, we'll be able to pop that bad boy in the lamp. But before we do that, when I'm done with this one, we've got, of course, a sugar nail. Why would there not be a sugar nail in one of my nail designs? So with our sugar nail, I decided to pick the middle nail, which is that nude nail. I don't think I've ever sugared a nude. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But I feel like I never sugared a nude. I don't know. When I did it, it didn't feel very fulfilling though, because of the colour. It was such a pale nude. I would normally sugar quite vibrant, colourful pinks, purples, blues. And to kind of sugar this nail, it didn't feel very okay with me, kind of. And it kind of feels like it kind of looks like it's a bit out of place in this set. But then the longer I look at it, the more it looks in place now. But at the time of actually creating the first 5 fingers off camera, I was staring at it for like minutes and minutes, and I just kept looking at it thinking, I don't know if I like that finger. And I was very deeply considering redoing it, doing something different, but I'm quite glad I left it. It's a bit different. It's quite a lot going on in this set, and I feel like it's fine. I can deal with it. I can deal with it. So now we are working on our index finger, and I'm doing a French tip with that gorgeous light pink from Macart. So I'm showing you guys how I outlined my little French, and I'm colouring the bottom. And I only showed you guys me doing the first coat on camera with the French tip, and then I did go ahead and do a second layer off camera. Yeah, just trying to get it, just trying to keep this video as short and sweet as possible. But today just didn't work out, and who knows, maybe you guys like longer videos. I don't even know. To be honest, I don't mind quite long videos to watch, to be honest. But yeah, I'm just rambling now. So back to the video. The nails have come out of the lamp, and there's 2 layers of that French tip on there now. So I'm going ahead and I'm taking a lint-free wipe with some nail cleaner, and I'm just wiping the 3 nails because those nails will have stamping on them. I like to wipe it because that way my stamping transfers better. However, you will notice something happening in this video today, and I probably think is a problem. Sometimes, I don't know. So because I watch a lot of Talia on YouTube and other people who stamp, and that's kind of what got me into stamping. And I notice that Talia always does a matte top coat, then she stamps, and then she re-top coats, whether it's matte again or whether it's glossy. And I just found like I kept running out of my matte top coats at the time, or I probably just ran out of my matte top coat at the time, and I just didn't have top coat. So I just thought, what a waste in a way. So I thought, how about I just wipe it, because that way I just get rid of the tacky layer and then I should be good to go. So I did that, and it does work, and it works quite nicely. However, I noticed that maybe you need to leave it for a very long time to maybe dry to a degree, because I've noticed and it will happen in this nail today on that I think the French tip nail, when I top coat, it actually very slightly smudged the black, which is a massive pain, and it doesn't always happen. So I don't know why, especially as the other nails, it didn't happen. Maybe because they were kind of left on their own for a little while, and the French tip was the last nail to do, and I straight away top coated. Maybe that was the problem, not too sure. But if you are having the problem I had today, I do maybe recommend matte top coating and then later re-top coating again. But yeah, I was just trying to be a bit more efficient. I don't really want to be wasting products if I can avoid doing that. So yeah, a little problem there, but we made it work. It's not too noticeable, luckily. I did end up leaving it. I could have wiped it, which I probably should have, but it's okay. Here I'm showing you guys me just kind of a little trick. I don't know if anyone knows this, but I like to clean my little stamper with a lint. Is it a lint roller? I think it's a lint roller. I get mine from IKEA majority of the time. They come in like they have like 4-pack refillables, and they last me forever. I usually use one for like a lot of rolling. I also like to use them for whenever I spill glitter maybe on my table, or I have some glitter residue on the table, I like to just roll it over and it picks it up perfectly, which is another trick, I guess, if you guys are into that or having that problem, because sometimes I find myself it falling onto the ground if I don't wipe it, and I probably don't want to do that, so I prefer to wipe it. Going back quickly to the stamping, as you saw, I do get off quite a little bit at the bottom. That's just because the nail is long enough where I won't be able to do it in one go, so I have to get rid of the few of the bottom ones, because I don't know if you can tell, but they're like cut off, so I don't want that to transfer, and then when I do the second layer at the bottom, for there to be that harsh like cut off in the middle, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. As you can see right there, right at the bottom, there's like a very sharp line, and we don't want that. So I'm stamping away, as you can see, working really well. The gel, well, not gel polish, I think this is just normal polish from Born Pretty, is like a very perfect deep black. It's perfect, everything's working well. I'm using my clear jelly stamper, my scraper. The plate is from AliExpress for about like $150 max, which is amazing prices, and it just works beautifully. Here, as you can see, I'm picking out randomly which ones I want to use to kind of fit nicely with that French tip. So I picked a few, I left the top ones, scraping it up, and then I'm going to place it down. It didn't work the best. There's one that I think I got rid of. Yep, that one, because it was almost non-existent. So I'm placing it in a methodical way where it's only on that pink bit, and then you're going to be left with some little bits left on your stamper, and this is where I'm going to get a bit more creative and just start stamping away on the sides. I decided to do that because it kind of leaves those little dots, and that's kind of what I want, because on the sides it gets quite small and narrow, and they just work so nicely that way, just kind of using the little bits that are left. If that makes sense, I don't know. And then, as you can see, I did go slightly over onto the nude, which is fine, because we're going to use a lint-free wipe and also some nail cleaner, and very gently we're going to wipe in the area we want to take it off, and it comes off like a dream. I'm sure you can use acetone, but I have no top coat on, and I don't want to ruin it. And as you can see, with just some very slight pressure, eventually when it gets a bit wet, it starts to come off really nicely, which is nice. I'm just going to clean up the edges, and once I'm happy, I'll be popping into, well, I guess I won't be, because this is polish. I don't know if you noticed, but on the thumb there was also this one line that was bothering me. I also got rid of that very gently, not to ruin the rest of the design. But now it's time for a matte top coat, and this is where it all goes wrong. So the thumb and the ring finger, perfect, no issues. Like, I was trying to be careful just because I've had that happen before, so I was trying to not be too forceful, very gentle, kind of floating the top coat on top of the nail, and then it all just flopped on that index finger. You'll notice right at the bottom it will just start smudging. I don't know if I was being a bit too forceful. I just messed it real time. There we go, there's the smudge. It's not too noticeable. I tried to fix it thinking if I go up I might fix it, but nope, none of that happened. So I just had to take it on the chin and I hope for the best. It's not too bad, it's not too bad. I feel like it could have been worse if it was on the other fingers, luckily. So now that it's cured and all nice and matte, it's time for some bling. So for the bling, I decided to bling out the index finger and of course the pinky. So for the index finger, I decided to play about with some different AB crystals size wise, and just kind of follow the rim where the pink and the nude meet. So like the C curve, what is that called, a C curve? Or the smile line maybe, I don't know. But I'm following that line, and then I'm trying to do bigger crystals right at the bottom, and as I go up I'm going to be using smaller and smaller crystals, or at least trying to as much as I possibly can. And yeah, so that's kind of the idea for this nail. And then once I'm happy with that one, I do believe I quickly pop into the lamp because I straightened it up how I liked it and I didn't want it moving. And then once I'm happy with that one, we will start then working on the pinky, and then that will be the last nail we'll be playing about with. So with the pinky, it's a bit of a faff. I don't normally like to do these kind of nails just because they are quite a lot of work. They do require a lot of crystals. If you are wondering, I have quite a lot of crystals right now on the screen, and nope, they are not Swarovski. I think I would be a millionaire if I could have all these Swarovskis because they cost $1 million. And well, not even Swarovskis, Preciosas as well. Preciosas are cheaper, but yeah, not as much as Swarovski, but of course still more expensive than the crystals I've got right here. So the crystals I have right here are from AliExpress. They come in massive bags, which is amazing. I think 1,440-ish roughly, I don't know, something like that. Definitely above 1,000 crystals, and incredibly affordable. I don't know, I think I pay like £1.50 maximum per pack. Sometimes even a few p, like 80p, 90p for a pack if they're smallest, or I think normally size 5s are quite cheap, I don't know why, or 6s I think. But yeah, and I still find them very sparkly. Majority of these I don't actually sell with crystals, so yeah, I'm not promising any customers Swarovskis, and if at any point you are selling them, absolutely go for it. Just make sure you don't mention that they are Swarovskis. You can say that they're, you know, I guess fake crystals. I don't know what they would, I guess, be called, because what exactly is a real crystal? Swarovski is a real crystal, Preciosa, I'm not too sure what is determining a real crystal. But yeah, these are the ones I use. That way I'm also able to kind of create these nails without actually hurting my bank account. I'm worrying myself. I'm able to actually be a bit more creative and have a lot to kind of play about with, which is kind of the idea. I don't really sell personal nails anymore. I only mainly focus on the YouTube videos. I do still have my website up, and you can still purchase from me if you wish so, but I am trying to just redo everything. I was supposed to have my website ready by the end of the month of March, I believe. Yeah, I think it was March. I've just got incredibly busy with life, and I still haven't got around to updating my website. I want to be selling nail products. That's kind of where my love lies, for nails in particular, and nail art, but not necessarily doing nails for order. But I will still have some there for people if they're wanting some. Who knows, maybe I'll have a change of heart and suddenly want to do loads of them, who knows. But for the time being, I like doing the videos the most, and hopefully selling some nail products. Can't even speak, guys, can't even speak. So here I'm just faffing about, just kind of picking random crystals, whatever fits. I've got a mixture between slightly chunky, then around it I've got some smaller crystals. It might look kind of funny, but then when you actually place them on, they look kind of cool, to be honest. And also I feel like that sparkly background did a lot of favors for me, actually, because the sparkle on that gel polish is the same kind of sparkle as the ABs. The ABs got this like rainbow reflection to it, and so did that sparkly gel polish underneath, which is amazing. And that way also you have less pressure of actually having to cover the whole nail. So what I'm trying to say is, if at any point there's any area or like a little gap, ever so small gap anywhere, you don't have to worry that it's very noticeable, someone's going to see it, it's not going to look pretty, because luckily the gel polish underneath is the same as the AB, so you don't have to worry. I find it so much more comforting to be doing a nail like that. I also found myself just not so stressed. There were areas where I was like, oh no, I don't have a size that would fit perfectly there, and it's fine, no one can see, no one will know. Yeah, you're good to go, essentially. So yeah, so I don't know if I mentioned, but the glue, I guess, the Rhinestone glue gel that I use is from Makat. I absolutely love it. I get mine from Amazon. I don't know what's going on with Makat website in the UK. It has been on this sale since like December, and there's like no products there anymore. I'm confused. When I go on the American website, I think it's American, they've got so many cool new products. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe they're scrapping the UK website, who knows. I tried to order from the American one, but oh my goodness, the shipping was almost double, well not double, almost the same as my order amount, and I was like, oh no, I don't think that is gonna work for me, I'm afraid. So I'm either gonna have to just do a massive order once and just bite the bullet, or just not order and hope maybe they're gonna update the UK website one day, who knows. But yeah, I love Makat products. They're amazing, and they constantly bringing out new products, working on their formulas, everything. Just a really like good affordable brand. So this is the final result. So I hope you guys liked it. If you end up recreating, don't forget to tag me. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.